We got to talk about the Chicago Bears' newest interim head coach, Thomas Brown, and a report stating that the Chicago Bears are going to take an extended look and making him maybe the long-term solution at the head coaching position for the Chicago Bears. So what is going on, y'all? Fox Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Appreciate that. So let's hop into this, people. So this is a report coming from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who basically stating that the Chicago Bears are going to, quote-unquote, take an extended look at Thomas Brown, potentially being the long-term option and permanent head coach of this team moving forward. And my immediate reaction to that is, it makes sense. It makes sense. Look, when everybody was clamoring for Matt Eberflus to get fired, we all thought Thomas Brown was the right guy for the job to take over, due to his success with Caleb Williams, who is the most important asset of this team in potential franchise history, right? This is the guy moving forward. You want to have the head coach that is going to help develop him. And thus far, Caleb's been balling out with Thomas Brown, so it makes sense why the Bears are saying, hey, why screw up a good thing here? If Caleb continues to ball out with Thomas Brown, maybe we just make him the head coach. So it makes sense. But a couple of things to consider here. Number one, the track record for an interim head coach becoming a head coach and being very successful at it, or just successful at it, isn't really that high. We don't have a good amount of coaches that have done that. I can't really think of many. Now, the most recent option that I can think of is Antonio Pierce. And obviously the Raiders have not been good this season. Now, that could be obviously attributed more to the roster and the fact that they don't have a quarterback. So, if the Raiders had Caleb Williams, things probably look much different, right, for Antonio Pierce. So how much can you really blame him? But my point is, Antonio Pierce isn't really an elite head coach. So that's the first thing, which is the track record isn't great for hiring your interim head coach to be your permanent head coach. And then the second thing to consider here is, what are you giving up? Because we talk about the fact that, there are guys out there that could be very elite, right? The most obvious choice that everyone, wants to look at is Ben Johnson. But, there's other guys that could be, potentially out there. Mike Vrabel's a guy. People talk about Bill Belichick. People even talk about, these coaches that have jobs right now that could potentially, be interested in Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. We'll see. I'm not saying that that's really going to be the case, but we'll see. So there are multiple good coaches that will potentially be out there. So is Thomas Brown better than all of them? Are you making a mistake by not taking a look at all those guys? So that's the second thing to consider here. And so to me, go ahead and use these last 5 games as sort of an interview for Thomas Brown. Go ahead and do that. See how Caleb plays. See how Caleb's balling out, right? If he is balling out, hopefully he is. And then at the end of the season, what I would do if I was Ryan Poles is take a look at the body of work that Thomas Brown put together with Caleb Williams. And then I would go ahead and even take input from Caleb, right? If this is the guy that he wants moving forward, because Caleb's that's your franchise quarterback, right? For the next 10, 15 years, you want input from him on who, he wants to be around. And then I am still doing my due diligence with other coaches out there. I'm doing it because it would be malpractice to not. This is going to be the biggest decision of your franchise for the next 10, 15 seasons, who you hire as the next head coach, because he's going to be tied to Caleb Williams, and you don't want to, hire a coach that's going to be fired very soon. So this is a huge decision for Ryan Poles. So you have to explore all options, leave no stone unturned. So you got to go ahead and interview other candidates out there. So that's what I would do if I'm Ryan Poles. I'm still keeping the door open for Thomas Brown, but I'm not just going ahead and handing him the job right as soon as the season ends. I'm still looking out there, doing my due diligence, and, I'm seeing, who is really the right guy for the job. So to me, I still want to, see more from Thomas Brown. But, for me right now, I probably am thinking just myself, Probably going to be a new head coach. But if Thomas Brown has Caleb Ballin, why not? Why not? So I'm not going to hate at that at all. And obviously, I'm going to be rooting like crazy for Thomas Brown to succeed with Caleb or continue to succeed. But that's what I'm doing it from Ryan Poles. I am doing my due diligence and take a look at all these options out there because this is way too important of a decision. The biggest decision Ryan Poles will make probably for the rest of his GM career here in Chicago. So that's where I'm at with this, people. Got no issues with the Bears looking at Thomas Brown, but you cannot go ahead and not look at other options this off season. So let me know what you guys think about that. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.